Everything in your life, your success, your happiness, your relationships, your financial situation comes down to one fundamental truth. You are responsible for it all. Not your parents, not your boss, not the government, not society, you. The moment you fully accept this, everything changes. It's not about blaming yourself, but about reclaiming your power. Because when you realize that you are the architect of your life, you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start changing them yourself. Most people spend their lives pointing fingers. They blame the economy, their childhood, their genetics, or their past failures. They tell themselves, I would be successful if only I had more money, more time, better opportunities. But here's the truth, there will always be obstacles. There will always be unfair situations. And yet some people rise above while others stay stuck. Why? Because the people who rise take full responsibility for where they are and where they're going. They refuse to be victims. They refuse to let excuses dictate their destiny. Look at anyone who has transformed their life. They all share one thing in common. At some point, they made a decision, a real decision. Not a wish, not a half-hearted attempt, but a decision that said, this is it. I will no longer accept anything less than the best version of myself. That decision led to action. The action created momentum, and that momentum reshaped their life. When you take 100% responsibility for your life, you take back control. You stop waiting for a miracle, and you become the miracle. You stop hoping someone will come to save you, and you realize that you are the hero of your own story. It's not easy. It requires looking in the mirror and being brutally honest with yourself. It requires acknowledging that some of your habits, your mindset, your daily routines are keeping you stuck. Well, here's the power in this realization. If you are responsible for creating your current situation, you are also responsible for changing it. Start right now. Look at every area of your life, your health, your finances, your relationships, your mindset. Where are you thriving? Where are you struggling? Now ask yourself, what role have I played in this? What decisions, actions, or inactions have led me here? This isn't about guilt or shame. This is about power. Because the moment you recognize that your choices have shaped your life, you awaken to the fact that new choices can reshape it. Those people live in a state of reaction. They wait for life to happen to them. They react to problems, react to stress, react to the conditions around them. But those who truly create a powerful life don't wait for circumstances to change, they change themselves first. They become proactive. They decide what they want and take relentless action toward it, no matter what. Taking responsibility means eliminating excuses completely. It means no longer saying, I can't, but instead asking, how can I? It means replacing self-pity with self-discipline. It means choosing growth over comfort. It means standing up, taking control, and refusing to settle for anything less than the life you were meant to live. The road won't be easy. There will be challenges. There will be setbacks. There will be moments where you feel like nothing is working. But here's the truth. Your power is in your persistence. Your ability to push forward, to keep moving, keep believing in yourself. That's what will separate you from the rest. That's what will define your future. This is the moment, right here, right now. A line in the sand. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more blaming. From this point forward, everything in your life is up to you. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter what's happened before. What matters is what you do next. Decide now. Own your life. Step up, take control, and start creating the future you deserve. Everything in life starts with your state. Your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, and your actions are all shaped by the state you're in at any given moment. When you feel energized, confident, and powerful, you take bold actions, you push through challenges, and you create results. When you feel tired, doubtful, or weak, you hesitate, you procrastinate, and you stay stuck. The difference between success and failure, between progress and stagnation, is the ability to control and shift your state at will. Your mind follows your body. If you are slouched over, breathing shallowly, speaking in a weak voice, your brain receives signals that tell it to feel small, powerless, and unmotivated. But if you stand tall, breathe deeply, move with energy, and speak with certainty, everything inside of you begins to shift. You feel stronger. You think clearer. You take action with conviction. This is why the first step to changing your life is to learn how to shift your state instantly. But most people wait to feel motivated before they take action. They think that one day they will wake up and feel ready. But motivation doesn't come first. It comes first. And when you take action, even small actions, you start to build momentum. The fastest way to create motivation is to change your body, change your focus, and change your language. Move your body with energy. Change what you're focusing on by shifting from problems to solutions. Change your language by speaking powerfully about yourself and your future. These small shifts create a chain reaction. Everything in your life right now is a result of states you live in most often. If you constantly live in a state of frustration, doubt, or fear, your results will reflect that. But if you train yourself to live in a state of confidence, determination, and gratitude, your actions will align with that, and your results will change. Success isn't about luck. It's about conditioning. The people who create extraordinary lives have trained themselves to enter peak states on command. They don't allow their external circumstances to dictate their internal world. They choose their state. They demand more from themselves. And because of that, they operate at a different level. You must decide right now to take control of your state. No more waiting for the perfect conditions. No more allowing the external world to determine how you feel. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. What matters is what's happening inside you. You can feel powerful in the face of challenges. You can feel unstoppable even when things aren't going your way. But it starts with a decision. A decision to raise your energy, shift your focus, and use your physiology to create an unstoppable mindset. The greatest achievers in history were not the ones who never faced hardship. They were the ones who refused to let hardship control them. They mastered their emotions. They mastered their thoughts. They mastered their state. And because of that, they created results that most people only dream about. The same power exists within you. The only question is, will you use it? Right now, in this moment, you can make the shift. Stand up tall, take a deep breath, move with purpose, and decide to live in a state of absolute certainty. The past doesn't matter. What happened yesterday doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you do now. Change your state, and you change your life. The only thing stopping you from becoming the person you are meant to be is the belief system you've built over the years. Every decision you make, every action you take, and every result you get is controlled by what you believe about yourself and the world. If you believe you're not smart enough, strong enough, or capable enough, you will never push yourself beyond the limits of that belief. If you believe success is only for the lucky or the talented, you will never take the bold steps required to achieve greatness. Your beliefs shape your destiny. And if you want to rebuild yourself, you must destroy the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Think about where those beliefs came from. They were not part of you when you were born. You weren't born with the idea that you couldn't achieve something. As a child, you tried, failed, and tried again until you succeeded. But over time, society, parents, teachers, and experiences began planting doubts in your mind. So someone told you that you weren't good enough. Someone made you feel like failure was a reflection of your worth. You faced a setback and convinced yourself that maybe success wasn't for you. And with every repetition, those beliefs became stronger. They became part of your identity. And now, without even realizing it, they control your decisions every single day. The first step to breaking these limitations is to recognize them. Identify the thoughts that hold you back. Listen to the voice inside your head when you hesitate, when you doubt, when you shrink away from opportunities. What does it say? I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. What if I fail? The moment you catch these thoughts, you must interrupt them. Challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? Or is this just something I've repeated to myself for so long that I've accepted it as truth? Because most of the time, it's nothing more than a conditioned lie. Once you identify a limiting belief, replace it with an empowering belief. If you tell yourself, I'm not capable, shift it to, I am learning and growing every day. If you think I don't have what it takes, reframe it to, I am resourceful and I will figure it out. Words have power. Repetition is power. If you can repeat negative beliefs for years and let them define you, imagine what would happen if you repeated empowering beliefs with the same intensity. You would begin to reprogram your mind. You would start seeing evidence of your own growth. You would start acting in alignment with the new identity you are creating. Rebuilding yourself starts with upgrading your mindset. You must make it a daily habit to reinforce the beliefs that serve you. Surround yourself with people, books, and experiences that push you forward instead of holding you back. Create a ritual of speaking power into your life, of visualizing your future, of stepping into your potential. The mind is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. The more you feed it powerful thoughts, the more it will work for you instead of against you. You have lived for years under the influence of beliefs that were never really yours. You accepted them because they were familiar, but now it's time to break free. You are not your past. You are not your doubts. You are not your failures. You are what you decide to become from this moment forward. Kill the limiting beliefs. Replace them with certainty. Step into your new identity. The only thing standing between you and your greatest potential is the story you tell yourself. Change the story and you change your life. The quality of your life is determined by the standards you set for yourself. Every action you take, every goal you achieve, and every challenge you overcome is a direct reflection of the expectations you hold for yourself. If you accept mediocrity, you will live a mediocre life. If you demand excellence, you will push yourself to levels most people never reach. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not luck, talent, or intelligence. It is the standards they refuse to compromise on. Your standards shape your habits. If you have high standards for your health, you won't settle for a life of laziness and unhealthy eating. If you have high standards for your relationships, you won't tolerate disrespect, dishonesty, or negativity in your inner circle. If you have high standards for your success, you won't allow excuses, procrastination, or self-doubt to dictate your actions. The life you are living right now is a direct reflection of what you have been willing to tolerate. If you want more, you must expect more from yourself. Most people set goals, but goals mean nothing without high standards. A goal is something you want to achieve, but a standard is something you demand from yourself every single day. A goal says, I want to be successful. A standard says, I will do whatever it takes no matter what. A goal says, I want to get in shape. A standard says, I will exercise every day whether I feel like it or not. When you raise your standards, failure is no longer an option. You eliminate excuses. You stop negotiating with your weaknesses. You become the type of person who does what must be done, no matter what obstacles arise. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lower their standards when things get hard. They give up on their dreams the moment discomfort sets in. They allow fear, rejection, and setbacks to convince them that maybe they weren't meant for more. But those who refuse to lower their standards keep going. They fight through the pain. They push through self-doubt. They demand more from themselves even when no one else is watching. And because of that, they create results that seem impossible to those who have settled. To raise your standards, start by deciding what you will no longer tolerate. Be brutally honest with yourself. What habits, excuses, and behaviors are keeping you stuck? Where have you allowed yourself to settle? Where have you been operating at a level far below your true potential? Identify these areas and draw the line today. No more playing small. No more accepting average effort. No more waiting for permission to go after what you deserve. Once you set your new standards, reinforce them with action. Make a commitment that is non-negotiable. If you decide you will wake up early and take control of your day, then that is what you do, no matter how you feel. If you decide you will never allow negative self-talk to control you again, then you speak powerfully to yourself every single day. If you decide you will operate with relentless discipline, then you execute on your plans without hesitation. The moment you break your own standard, you weaken your identity. But every time you uphold it, you reinforce the belief that you are unstoppable. The world does not give you what you want, it gives you what you demand through your actions. The people who rise to the top are not always the most talented, but they are the ones with unshakable standards. They refuse to lower themselves to the level of their challenges. Instead, they rise to the level of their vision. And that is exactly what you must do. Raise your standards, hold yourself to them, and watch how your entire world transforms. Success does not come from waiting for the perfect moment. It does not come from endless planning or wishing things were different. It comes from action, bold, relentless, and sometimes messy action. The biggest mistake people make is believing they need to have everything figured out before they start. They think they need more knowledge, more resources, more time. But the truth is, nothing changes until you take action. The only way to create momentum, to build confidence, and to see results is to take massive, imperfect action right now. Most people hesitate because they fear failure. They worry about making mistakes. They are afraid of what others might think if they get it wrong. But here's the reality: failure is part of the process. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. The difference is they did not let failure stop them. They did not wait for conditions to be perfect before they took their first step. They moved forward, adjusted, and learned along the way. The people who win in life are the ones who act, even when they are uncertain. They take risks, they put themselves in uncomfortable situations, and because of that they grow, they adapt, and they achieve what others only dream about. Perfection is an illusion. It is the enemy of progress. Too many people waste years preparing, researching, and waiting for everything to be just right. But waiting only leads to regret. While you sit on the sidelines waiting for confidence, others are out there making mistakes, learning, and getting better every single day. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence is built through action. The more you do, the more you realize that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Massive action is what separates those who talk about success from those who actually achieve it. It is the willingness to go all in, to push through discomfort, and to keep going even when things don't go as planned. It is about taking that first step, even if it feels small, because action leads to momentum. And once you build momentum, nothing can stop you. If you want to change your life, you must commit to being a person of action. You must stop overthinking. Stop doubting yourself. Stop waiting for motivation to strike. The most successful people do not wait to feel motivated. They move forward, and in doing so, they create motivation. They take control of their time, their energy, and their results. They don't sit around hoping for change, they make it happen. You must train yourself to take action before you feel ready. The mind will always find reasons to delay. It will always create doubts, fears, and excuses, but the moment you decide to move forward anyway, you take back control. You shift from being someone who reacts to life to being someone who creates life. Right now, there is something you know you need to do. There is a goal, a dream, a change you've been putting off. You've thought about it. You've planned for it. But you haven't taken real action yet. The time for hesitation is over. The time for excuses is over. You don't need more time. You don't need more knowledge. You need to act. Take the first step. Make the call. Start the project. Go after what you want with full force. The results you crave will not come from wishing. They will come from doing. No more waiting. No more doubts. No more holding back. Success belongs to those who take action. So make the decision today to be one of them. Take massive imperfect action and watch how quickly your life transforms. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is not a gift that only a few lucky people possess. It is something that is built, conditioned, and strengthened through consistent action. The people who walk into a room with unshakable confidence were not always that way. At some point in their lives, they made a decision to stop doubting themselves, to stop seeking approval, and to start owning their power. Confidence is not about arrogance or pretending to be something you're not. It is about knowing your worth, trusting yourself, and showing up as the most powerful version of who you are. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take either strengthens or weakens your confidence. Most people don't even realize they are constantly programming themselves with doubt. They allow negative self-talk to dominate their minds. They focus on what they lack instead of what they have. They compare themselves to others and convince themselves they are not good enough. But confidence is a choice. It is a muscle that grows stronger every time you challenge fear, every time you step out of your comfort zone, and every time you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. The way you speak to yourself matters. Words have power. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't do this, I'm not smart enough, or what if I fail? You are reinforcing the belief that you are not capable. But when you replace those thoughts with, I am unstoppable, I figure things out, and I have everything I need to succeed, you start programming your mind for success. Your brain will always search for evidence to support what you believe, so make sure you are feeding it beliefs that empower you, not ones that limit you. Your physiology also plays a major role in confidence. The way you move, the way you stand, the way you breathe, all these things send signals to your brain about how you feel. If you slouch, look down, and speak softly, your brain interprets that as weakness. But when you stand tall, breathe deeply, move with energy, and speak with certainty, your brain gets the message that you are in control. Confidence is not just in the mind, it is in the body. If you want to feel powerful, start acting powerful. Change the way you carry yourself, and your mindset will follow. Experience is the greatest builder of confidence. The more you do something, the more natural it becomes. If you want to be confident in speaking, speak more. If you want to be confident in leadership, lead more. If you want to be confident in taking risks, take more risks. The key is to take action before you feel ready. Most people wait for confidence before they act, but confidence comes from action. For the first time you do something, it may feel uncomfortable. The second time it gets easier. By the 10th time it becomes second nature. The people who succeed at the highest level are not the ones who waited until they felt ready. They are the ones who acted despite their fear. Failure does not destroy confidence. Avoiding failure does. Every time you back away from a challenge, you reinforce fear. But every time you push through fear, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Confidence is not about never failing. It is about trusting yourself to handle whatever happens. The most successful people in the world have failed more than anyone else. The difference is they do not let failure define them. They see it as a stepping stone, a lesson, a necessary part of growth. You have everything inside you to be unstoppable, but it starts with a decision. A decision to stop playing small, a decision to stop doubting yourself, a decision to step into the power that has been inside you all along. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you create, something you demand from yourself, something you reinforce every single day. Speak with power, move with energy, take action before you feel ready. Condition yourself for unstoppable confidence and watch how your entire world transforms. The world is changing faster than ever. Opportunities are everywhere, but so are challenges. Those who survive, those who thrive, and those who dominate are not the ones who resist change. They are the ones who embrace it, adapt to it, and turn adversity into fuel. Life will never go exactly as planned. No matter how much you prepare, unexpected obstacles will arise, setbacks will happen, and plans will fall apart. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is simple: the ability to adapt and keep moving forward, no matter what. Most people fear change because it is uncomfortable. It forces them to step into the unknown. It makes them question what they thought was certain. But growth only happens when you leave the familiar behind. The people who rise above are the ones who are willing to reinvent themselves over and over again. They do not hold on to the past. They do not stay stuck in outdated beliefs or old ways of doing things. Instead, they ask themselves, how can I use this challenge to grow? How can I turn this obstacle into an opportunity? They take what life throws at them and transform it into a weapon of strength. There will always be problems. There will always be uncertainty, but nothing in life is permanent, not success, not failure, not pain, not struggle. The only constant is change. If you resist it, you suffer. If you embrace it, you evolve. If you master it, you become unstoppable. Those who cling to the way things used to be will get left behind. But those who can adjust, pivot, and innovate will always find a way to move forward. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges. It is about learning to thrive in the face of them. Every time you overcome a struggle, you become stronger. Every time you push through resistance, you build mental toughness. Every time you refuse to quit, you develop an inner power that cannot be broken. The people who reach the highest levels of success are not the ones who had an easy path. They're the ones who took their failures, their pain, and their struggles and used them as stepping stones to greatness. There will be moments when things feel unfair. There will be times when everything seems to be working against you. In those moments, you have two choices: you can break, or you can build yourself into someone who cannot be broken. You can let the weight of adversity crush you, or you can carry it on your back and use it to make yourself stronger. The greatest transformations happen not when everything is easy, but when everything is hard. It is in those moments that true character is built. Success belongs to those who refuse to quit. It belongs to those who keep moving forward when others give up. It belongs to those who see problems as opportunities, challenges as fuel, and setbacks as lessons. There is no strength without struggle. There is no resilience without adversity. Every obstacle is a chance to become tougher, smarter, and more powerful than you were before. Right now, life is testing you. It is asking you if you are strong enough to handle the pressure, if you are willing to do what it takes, if you are ready to step into your power. The answer is up to you. You can stay where you are wishing things were different, or you can decide that no matter what happens, you will adapt, you will rise, and you will dominate. Nothing can stop you if you refuse to be stopped. No setback, no failure, no challenge is greater than your ability to overcome it. The only question is, will you rise to the occasion? Will you use every difficulty as fuel to push forward? Will you become the kind of person who is unshakable in the face of adversity? The choice is yours. Adapt, overcome, keep moving forward, and never ever back down. Your life is a reflection of your daily habits. The results you see, the success you achieve, and the person you become are all built on the small, consistent actions you take every single day. Many people dream of transformation, but very few are willing to commit to the discipline of creating powerful habits and rituals that shape their future. The truth is, success is not a one-time event. It is not something that happens overnight. It is the result of the habits you choose to repeat day after day until they become second nature. Most people do not struggle because they lack ability or intelligence. They struggle because they do not have the right habits. They live by impulse instead of by design. They wake up without a plan, react to whatever comes their way, and wonder why they feel lost and unfulfilled. But those who take control of their lives do things differently. They do not leave their growth to chance. They build daily rituals that push them forward, sharpen their minds, and keep them focused on their vision. They don't just set goals, they create habits that make those goals inevitable. The habits you follow in the morning set the tone for your entire day. How you start your day determines your mindset, your energy, and your level of focus. If you wake up late, check your phone first thing, and rush into your tasks without preparation, you are already in a reactive state. But if you take control of your mornings with intention through movement, gratitude, goal setting, and focused action, you step into your day with power. Well, the most successful people in the world do not wake up and hope for motivation. They wake up and create it through their rituals. Discipline is freedom. The more structure you create in your habits, the more freedom you will have in your life. Many people resist routine because they think it limits them. But the truth is, having powerful habits actually frees you. It frees you from procrastination, from doubt, and from the mental exhaustion of trying to decide what to do next. When you build strong habits, success becomes automatic. You don't have to think about whether you'll work out, whether your goals are when your goals are, whether you'll stay disciplined, because those things are already part of who you are. Your environment plays a major role in your habits. If you surround yourself with distractions, negativity, and chaos, your habits will reflect that. But if you create an environment that supports your growth, your success will follow. This means setting up your space for productivity, surrounding yourself with people who push you to be better, and eliminating anything that pulls you away from your highest potential. Your habits are a product of your environment, so shape it in a way that fuels your vision. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can set goals and take action for a week. But true transformation happens when you commit to your habits for the long haul. It's not about doing things perfectly, it's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who rely on motivation. They are the ones who have built habits so strong that success becomes a byproduct of their daily actions. Right now, you have the power to design your future. You do not need to wait for inspiration. You do not need to wait for the right time. All you need to do is take control of your habits and rituals. Decide today that you will no longer live by chance, you will live by choice. You will build habits that create discipline, energy, and momentum. You will not let distractions or excuses dictate your future. You will show up, do the work, and create the life you were meant to live. Your future is being shaped by the actions you take today. Make them count. Build habits that strengthen you. Create rituals that move you forward, and never let a single day pass without stepping toward the life you were born to create.